hard part for me. Boom, 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 boom. So every, finding a groove that I can't play is usually one of the ways that I take a chunk of time is out and just do it half an hour, 45 minutes, just slow and try to, push it in that direction. Um, for me, it was an even split between just hand stuff and full kit groove stuff, because I found that everything connected. I found that everything, led into something else. Once you're comfortable with your hands, then you're not thinking about your hands while you're working on other stuff. And so it was easier for me to do that kind of focused practice because I didn't know what I didn't know. You know what I mean? There's so many things that I had to learn and so many things that I knew how I wanted it to sound, but I didn't know how to make it happen. So as time went on, it got harder and harder to do those long sessions because like, well, I don't really have to spend that huge amount of time on, this one thing anymore. Or it became, a difficult mental exercise to really push through that long time frame.
For me,
So I guess it's
yeah. Sorry. I thought you were. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'm rambling.
So for me, it's the same for all of us. I think, like, I've heard so many drummers talk about that. Like sometimes where they go in the practice room and they're just sitting there, like, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know where to start. I don't want to just keep doing the same things. But like I think about when you go to the gym, you do a lot of the same exercises. There's only so many exercises, but you're maybe you're adding weight or you're working on different parts of your body, like maybe like today's chest day and bicep day, and then you're adding more weight, and then or you're getting maybe you're just doing cardio. So I try to like think about it like that, where it's like, I need to, being a teacher too, I kind of can see where my weaknesses are and I try to focus on those. So for years, I always just felt like my hands were a problem. So I do a lot of work on hand stuff. And then now I'm noticing that like speed is a problem with me. And so I try to just focus on those weaknesses and do different things. But what helps me a lot is not even getting with an actual teacher in person, but I really like for like where I'm at. I'll explain it like this. For where I'm at, like a lot of teachers I've noticed, one-on-one teachers don't have service mindset, so they're focused on proving to you that they're a better drummer than you. And that drives me crazy. I'm not trying to get negative, but that drives me nuts. Or I've noticed a lot of teachers, they immediately start off by talking about themselves, and then that's wasting a lot of my time for like I'm paying you for your time, so let's get to business. And I've noticed also that a lot of teachers are just kind of cashing in, and they're letting the clock play out so that they can get your money. So I'm not into that. So what I like doing is just I sign up for a couple different I sign up for Drumeo. I sign up for another thing called Tracks, Drum Tracks. And I've used Mike Johnston before, stuff like that
I'm right into him right now.
Yeah.
And Lifetime, I got right into Lifetime. I can almost do the advanced.
Cool.
Yeah,
that stuff, man. There's just just tons and tons of stuff to work through, and really, see where you're at. It's really cool. That's my specifically though, like how I practice is I have to, like, I love practicing at the beach. So I obviously don't get to do full kit, but hand stuff and all that stuff at the beach. And I just for me it's a lot. It's changed to a lot of like, what can I share at Chops and Coffee? But when I'm actually working on stuff, man, I'll pull up some chart or something and try to work through it and realize how much I suck. But I notice a lot of progress, and that's what keeps me going.
Cool.
Yeah, there are definitely things that I have that I enjoy practicing, and there are things that I know are valuable practices. And I have my time between those two. Like I'll play something that I really enjoy, and then I'll take time. I'm warmed up and good, feeling in the zone. Then on that kind of mentality to like a double stroke practice or a paradiddle or some sort of exercise that uses that same kind of focus that I've gotten from playing something that I really feel attached to, and kind of splitting the difference between am I enjoying myself and am I am I using my time wisely, I think became a major part of the exercise for me.
Yeah. Sometimes just being behind your kit and just just playing, because you're taking for the past year you've taken gigs out of the equation. And I noticed, I mean, when I went back to my first gig, man, I noticed a big like that was missing. Like I haven't worked on staying sharp on gigs, and man, I was rusty in that department. I could play a smooth double stroke roll, but but playing being on my toes, thinking on my toes was not really happening.
Yeah, being interactive is definitely a muscle, like reacting to what's going on around you. There's no way to really practice that other than doing it. Yeah, you can play along with records and simulate it, but yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
But I think recording.
Go ahead.
Oh, and I mean, Daryl, as far as your practice, I think there should always have something where you're videoing yourself. Always have something like the last part of the practice, 15 minutes, where you video it and plan to review it later. And often that leads to all kinds of things that I find I need to practice, like reviewing my practice.
That kind of keeps you accountable too, where you're like, oh man, you want to get back in the practice room to fix whatever.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
And it's also useful to go back to stuff that you've done, that videos you took 3 months ago, 6 months ago, and say, oh, I used to have problems with that.
Yeah.
Now I've improved, and that can be a major boost to your kind of sense of accomplishment, because you can definitely spend hours and hours behind the kit and be like, man, I am not getting any better at all. And you reach a certain point where you have to start looking at the long-term change as opposed to the short-term change. When you first start, like, you make progress really, really quickly, and it feels good. You're like, wow, I'm twice as good as I was yesterday. And then you start that, start getting diminishing returns, and eventually you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't work anymore. And you have to start looking at it over the long term in order to, see that movement on the graph.
That's where I'm at right now. And I think you guys just nailed it. I never thought about that, but I think I am so used to jamming and playing live and stuff, and I haven't done that for so long that I think my spirit is probably saying something's missing here. And like every time I'm behind this kit now, it's like something's kind of missing. And that's what it feels like. Something's missing. That's what it is, probably.
Yeah.
I'm going to go pull up my drum kit on my driveway and just start playing. Come watch me play.
Yeah, you're running through cones, but you're never really getting in the game. You know what I mean?
Man. Yeah,
that's what terrifies me, man. I've never played with another person. I've only played by myself. I've never played with I've never played time with a bass player. I've never that was one of the things that so I take lessons from Dave Johnstone, and so that was one of the things that he suggested to me was taking a lesson from a bass player, is saying hire someone to say, hey, can you just come over and play time with me for 45 minutes or whatever, and tell me where I'm loose, tell me where I'm where I need to be on the beat, tell me where you feel uncomfortable, because that relationship between the drummer and the bass player is like sacred. And I am so used to playing to recordings and drumless backing tracks that where the bass player never messes up, he never gives you a dirty look from across the bandstand, you know what I mean? He never kicks your kick drum, when you're dragging. But so that's what I am both scared and excited for, is getting into that world where that your energy actually affects other people instead of just working on kind of solidifying your own internal energy, which is also important. But there is a very, very human aspect of music making that I haven't been exposed to on this instrument yet, and that's like the next level for me.
You already have you're already a musician, so it's not going to be as big of a hurdle as you think. But I would be interested to know. There's a thing. I don't know if you guys have felt this, but playing in ska and reggae bands. There's a thing with horn players, especially jazz players, where horn players have a different feel for like notation than drummers. In my opinion, most horn players play behind the beat. It's almost too behind the beat, and I'm always like yelling at them to play like more on top, and that I naturally play on top. So I'm interested to know how that will affect your drumming. If I haven't played with you as a horn player, so
the thing about horn players that read is a lot of reading horn players, that especially guys that like get hired for ska bands and stuff like that. We're like, oh, we're looking for a horn player for this gig. Most guys that read really well come from the big band world, and that's where you do want to kind of lay behind the beat. And so like that, I think that instinct is what drives a lot of horn players. Like, oh well, you only sound hip if you play directly behind the beat at so and so and so. And I think the guys that come into the ska world and don't really understand like the upbeat kind of feel to it,
right?
I think there are people who are ignorant of style in every style. You know what I mean? Like
the band that I play with mostly now is called Western Standard Time. It's a ska big band orchestra. It's like a 20-piece orchestra, and it's all those guys. It's all the first call guys in LA, and so yeah, there's been lots of conversations on like, hey, can you guys like play more on top? This is not like a swing, big band, and it's always like met with a lot of confusion and sideways looks, but yeah. All right, so let's get started. We'll do some easy ones and then we'll stay on some of the more difficult ones, like Daryl was saying. Oops, did I do that? Let's just do a real basic one first. Just like let's see, is it this one? Let's see. I like that one. How about this one? 16th notes, 8th notes on one hand. So like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and 4 and switch, yeah. We'll get our blood flowing. Really, really easy one to start with, and let's get this party started. Let's go. Let me see here. Settings, general. Okay. Never. All right.
We can start giving out prizes for most improved and fastest hands. Everybody get a coffee mug.
Oh man. Speaking of which, I got another freaking issue with the graphic designer guys, man. It's the same thing always. They're all the same, man. And like no matter where, every graphic designer is just on their own. It's like they're on a different timeline, they just, and there's no like contact, like, hey man, haven't forgotten, I'm still working on it. It's just like they're just dead. And then you like a month later, you're like, hey man, still working on that thing. And then they're like, oh yeah, totally. And then, they throw something together and send it to you. It's like, I'm ranting, but like this has been my problem with graphic designers since day one with like Drum Brigade. It's crazy. I'm talking about the Chops and Coffee merch though. That's why I'm bringing that up. Okay, so hold on. Gosh, cancel. All right. All right, we'll start a little fast because this goal tempo is 175. So let's start at like 140. There we go. One, two, 1, 2, ready. Ah. I'm always open too. If you guys want to stay on something a little longer, just let me know. We're halfway there. Ooh. Almost there. Last one. That was interesting. I think that was one of your things, Adam, where like I felt like my 16ths were not even for like one bar, and I like felt like a little weird adjustment in my back.
Yeah, and then you're talking also, that always uses a different part of the brain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's trippy because that whatever stick lands before the eighth notes ends up being a division of 9 as a rest. So I mean, we're so used to kind of things being 2s, 3s, and 4s, but it's like da 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 da. So that space between when, like in the first line, when the left hand lifts before the eighth notes, it comes down on the downbeat, and there's that space of 9, which is a little awkward.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
So yeah, I don't know. Some like if this is comfortable for somebody, like they try to like lift that whatever hand lands before the eighth notes, try to lift that up and feel that 9 in the air before it comes down again. It's kind of a cool exercise.
Hey, this just occurred to me. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this in a metronome. It might be kind of a fancy feature where you could have it increase BPM by like a predetermined amount, like 5 or 10.
Oh,
you know, like a steadily increasing. So every time it came around, it was a little bit faster.
yeah.
Is that a thing?
Oh, you can program metronomes to do that.
That would be kind of fun if we all knew it was going to, like, you know, after the left hand when it just kicked up a little bit.
There's a video, maybe, you know, I've thought about doing just like a video thing where there's a video on Zildjian, and the warm-up isn't that hard, but it's full on marching band. But the tempo increases gradually. And you have to try to stay, you have to feel the tempo. And maybe I'll try to do that. I'll pull that up. But the sticking is like really basic, but it's like really, really fast. And then you're playing along to some song that's like a lot of these marching band guys use like songs, like program songs, I guess. And yeah, you're playing along to that. Anyways, I'll try to find that and then share it maybe on the next one.
What metronome can you program to increase?
I thought there was one. I'm using. So I'm using. Well, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm using. Let's see.
Yeah, I have one.
Tempo advance or something like that. And
there's Pro Metronome too that I have that does that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So you can program like set lists. Or you can program all kinds of different things where it'll switch automatically. I don't know how to do it like offhand, but I know that there's versions where you can program your metronome to like basically play live, and you can program it for like a certain amount of time, and then it'll automatically switch to your next song. You know?
Yeah, this would be fun to take from like 120, up to 175 or whatever we picked as the parameters, and then back down to where you started.
Uh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
good.
It just occurred to me while we were doing it.
It's hard though
Th-
because that's like the thing that we fight, you know, rushing or dragging, and so a metronome is supposed to stop you from doing that.
I was
So
always
there's
taught
this.
to stop, like, do
Go ahead.
not do that because you're training your brain to speed up. I don't know. I was told that, like, don't ever, if you're gonna speed up, stop, hit like speed it up, and then start at that
Start
speed.
again, yeah.
Yeah, I would want to program it to drag so I could almost overcompensate my tendency to rush.
What were you gonna say, Sam?
I was gonna say there's this app TE Tuner that has an incredible metronome like attached to it, and you can do everything from automatic tempo change to like silencing certain beats. Like it'll like randomly silence a beat, so you'll be 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1.
Great
3,
exercise
4,
for slow tempo.
which is super. But they do have the automatic tempo change where you can say either after every minute it goes up, or after every so and so bars it goes up, and you can set the max in the minute, and you can. So there are definitely apps that allow you to do that.
So there's this tempo advanced thing is like that too. So you know you can change it to a different sound. You know, and you can do odd, like, yeah, you can do all kinds of things. All right, so that's 165, and let's get it. Let me get my timer going. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready. Ten seconds. Last one. Hey, all right. Not bad.
Man, I was just thinking what Sam was talking about, dropping beats, but how cool would it be to have every minute one more beat gets dropped out? So if you're working on it and it's comfortable, you know, like 1 minute later it's going to drop another beat, and then another minute later it'll drop. That'd be cool.
I know,
Drumeo just gave a challenge. Corey, if you're in, you've probably seen it. It's crazy. It's a whole. It just messes with the metronome. It messes with the subdivision. So you stay with the quarter, then it moves to the E, and you're supposed to just see how you can stay in the groove, and then it drops a whole bar. It's crazy. Yeah. You can watch Jared get through it. He stumbles though. Yeah.
A buddy of mine, Fig, he would set the tempo at like 50, and then like do that, like where it's only on the like on 1, you know, and then the rest was like empty, and try to stay, like, see how well he can stay on tempo, like with his mental metronome, you know. Impossible for me, but like but it was like he was like surprised at how accurate it like only on beat 1, and then stay in time with like a groove or whatever, or soloing and try to stay on beat. He's like an amazing drummer though. All right, so this is actually faster than our goal. This is 180. 1, 2, ready. Hey. Sorry. Does anybody need that? Halfway. Couple more. Last one. Yay, nice job. All right, let me get that back. Oops. Coffee's kicking in, so that's good. I changed up my coffee, and it's man, it's good. Man, it's good. Way more expensive than my like cheap $2 Puerto Rican coffee. All right, so this one, we haven't done this one yet. We were talking about it though a few months ago, but I thought we can do this one regular for a minute. We can stay on this one, and then we can start natifying this one. And so you guys know what that means. Like instead of playing an accent, play a diddle. Instead of playing a diddle, play a flam on the accent notes. And then instead of we'll probably just take it to there, but we can do you know, flam diddle, like a flam tap on the accented notes, and then you can diddle leave the accent notes and diddle all the rest. If that, you know, I didn't write that out, but think you guys can. Well, actually, I can do that. So, but anyways, this is just displacing the accent over every bar. And we're playing triplets here. Goal is 160. I don't know if we'll be able. I don't know if I'll be able to do that fast. So, I'm gonna put some triplets on here. Sorry. All right, so okay, that a little too fast? Everyone good with that tempo? Good, okay. Good, who else? Everybody else? We can slow it down if you want.
I always like to start super slow, but don't go on my behalf.
Okay, here, let's go to let's meet in the middle and go to 95. Especially when we start flamming this. Okay. Let's get a timer going, and then we're just gonna play it as written first time. Also, guys, don't forget you guys can do your ostinato anyone you want under this kind of stuff. It's really useful. I'm gonna stay away from it today, but the more I practice this, the more I'm gonna try to get that going. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Almost there. Last one. Oh, love it.
I wasn't trusting my hands on that one. That's where I got screwed up.
Same here. This goes so this goes so much along with the here I have it pulled up. This Mike Dawson thing that we were doing. it's so similar because
Yeah.
you got to trust the sticking, you know, but your accent's changing. That's really cool. We can do the same on this one too, but all right, let me go back.
I did the opposite. I was trusting the hands, and I had to stop looking at the sheet music because that was tripping me up. So I was going off by like ear.
Oh, that's
then,
good.
Yeah, and for some reason it's easier that way for
Yeah.
me for this exercise.
This one's a trip for me. I got so used to the 16th note one and working with that one with students and stuff that I never never really do this one hard, you know, and so this one it's just weird to feel triplets, you know.
Yeah.
When
I
turn
did this.
around.
Yeah, this one I did when we like right now when we started it right before. I was actually doing this and what you would say like 16 notes with the it's 16 notes, so you're still accessing the 3, and the bass drum is on the quarter, so it's kind of like a
So
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, that's how
Okay.
it comes out naturally for me that way. But if you think of it this way, I guess you're doing a dotted quarter note, is it? But on the bass drum, and then you keep this triplet. If you think that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to think about it that way, that's crazy.
It came to
For
me
some reason, it
naturally.
makes real like a lot of sense for me as triplets. I guess you can change it to 6/8 too, right? Or would it be 6/8 or 12/8? 12/8. I don't know. There's music is weird. All right, let's go a little faster. Let's go to let's go to 130 here. Let's go 135. All right. Stupid emails. 1, 2, 1. Halfway. Lost it. Man. Man, that starts messing with my head. As soon as I talk too, and it really starts messing with me.
Yeah, I start going into paradiddles and I start trying to throw in doubles to like turn it around, and I keep thinking that I in order to hit that second one that I have to do a double somewhere. Like I'm so used to having to throw it in with my left hand because I'm playing it in the snare groove.
That would be a good exercise too, to change your sticking into paradiddles, but play the accents and still play triplets. Holy moly. That'd be impossible for me. This one is like, man, it's like, it's so simple. Like when you look at it, it's triplets, but man, it can be really challenging.
Yeah, that middle triplet one, I think it would benefit everyone just to do that repeatedly. Just do butts, do butts, do butts, do butts, do butts, do that. Yeah. Middle triplet is always the most challenging of the triplets.
See, for me, it's the last one. It's the playing it on
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, and then the turnaround going back to you guys want to do that? Just the middle one.
Yeah, see what it feels like. Or how about we double each one?
Okay.
Let's try that.
Let's double each one. All right, I'm gonna set it at I'm gonna set it back at 130. All right. So doubling each one now. Like playing each measure twice. 1, 2, ready, hey. Let's slow it. Can we slow it down? You guys good with slowing it down? It's a little fast. There we go. That's 110. 1, 2, ready. Oh man, lost it. There we go. Last one. Holy mackerel. That is a brain twister, man. Maybe it's just the morning, but that is just completely messing with my brain. You're right, Adam. Doing the middle one twice. Oh man, oh God.
Yeah, it's also cool to try to feel it in 6 instead of the pulse being here. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. It helps you to feel the phrase longer. Because if you can feel it more like it gets a little more African kind of. It feels both quarter note triplets and quarter notes.
Oh man, that is. Oh God.
Yeah, so like even just like in both your feet, you could both feet pulse that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1.
Oh man, that's hard.
Yeah.
I got through it, but it's really hard. Wow.
Yeah, and then shift the feet back from 6/8 to 4/4 and try to feel it the same, and then eventually you just start feeling the chugga 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 chugga, and they're really like the middle triplet in 6, like ga 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 ga. Yeah, there's lots of cool fun stuff you could do with this one. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's exactly like that's exactly where my issue is, because if you're playing something ba 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 ba, my hand wants to hit that accent on the left every time. Ba ba. So when I'm going in and playing it alternate, just a single stroke roll, my right hand doesn't want to hit that beat. My left hand wants to hit it. So there's my exercise.
Let's try it again, but let's do flams instead of accents.
Yeah.
So change the accent to the flam, but keep the sticking the same. So if you're doing the right-handed accent, that would be a right-handed flam, meaning your grace note would be on your left. Same thing. Let's do 2 measures of each one too. So we're at 100 now. Here we go. 2 measures of each. 1, 2, ready. Oops, I'm not doing 2 measures. Sorry, one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. I hit the screen and I lost it. Ready, go. Last one. Oh my gosh. It's amazing.
Woo, that was good.
Yeah. That's really cool.
I had to count out loud for that one.
You had to count it?
Yeah, that counts out loud the downbeat.
Ah.
So that you know, when you get into the, because then you, I don't know, I start thinking the flam is the downbeat when we shift.
Oh yeah.
So
For some reason, the flam, you know, you guys know I love flam stuff so much, but the flam one is almost easier than the accent one for me. I mean, probably not at a faster tempo. That's 100, so that's like as slow as we've done it. But for some reason, it just feels like the flow feels nice for me.
Corey, how are you sticking that second line going into the third line where you have the two right flams in a row?
Let's see, second line going into the so let me go from the top. So here, let me flip this. Okay, so sorry. So are you talking about going into the second line where you have like a double? It's kind of like a double for me. So now I'm confusing myself. Now the pressure's on. I can't do it because you're watching me.
Oh, okay.
Let me see here. I can't feel it. Let me see. Okay. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. This is too much pressure.
I'm doing the double. So I go, yeah, left, right, and then into the flam. So pop pop.
Yeah. So
I'm doing that, but not thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm just doing like a double. So oh yeah, okay. So you're talking about coming from here and going to here, right?
No, the next line. There to there to there.
So I'm playing this sticking as written, left, right, left, but then I'm doing a left flam right here. So I mean a right flam. So yeah, it's like a double. So that's the first. Okay. That's the first grouping.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the sticking persists. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Why was that like just a mental block right there?
Yeah. Yeah. It's so weird. Like all flams on the same hand in 4-note groupings is kind of awkward. Oh, because the left has a triple. That's what it is.
When you start dissecting it, that's what happens. You're like,
well,
yeah.
You up.
Oh yeah, okay. You're talking about just going, yeah. This you just repeated this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm so conditioned to go left to right in a 4-note grouping. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's cool if you just repeat that, man. That's cool. That's a great drum fill right there. Let me see here. So what was that? Right, left, right. That's that like bluesy. Oh no, sorry. That's cool. If you just, I'm just repeating this, like Adam was just doing. That's. I can hear some. I immediately when you did that, it caught my attention because I could hear like some melodies coming out of there. You know.
Yeah, and that 4 also, like, it'd be all right hand flams in 4s. So blah da dee blah 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 dee da. So the left hand has a triple. So if you were to repeat,
Which one are you talking about?
oh, it's that space that I'm struggling with. It's between the last accent on the second line and the first accent on the third line.
Okay.
Like, yeah, 'cause it's just 4 notes with the first note of a 4-note grouping being a right hand flam. So it'd be right hand flam, left, right hand flam, left, right. And then you wind up with that triple in the left, which is harder than I would have thought. So the right hand is just 8th notes. Okay, that's it. All right.
Yeah.
When me growing up and playing flams, I've always kind of like a Grayson or something, but I always thought of it as one, just because it's the same sticking, but it's one. So it's not a grouping. It's just more like it's a flam for me. So I don't think of it as in 4 notes or 3-note groupings, and that just helps me out. I don't know.
Yeah, I think of everything as groupings, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, yeah. It makes sense because it's like you are physically moving your hand, and then, but I just think of it as one note.
Yeah, that's a great man. So playing from here to here, right? Yeah. Yeah, you're playing 8th notes on your right. That's interesting. So wait.
Yeah, it's kind of Brazilian.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Except you don't want to flam on the Brazilian stuff, right? You want to play that this would be like unison, and this would be unison, I think. Oh my god!
But if you take away the right hand rhythm, you wind up with which is really a trippy rhythm. So ba 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 you got kind of like stuttery feel.
Wait. Now I'm just so wait. You're flamming still.
But when you take the pulse away, you get that really lilted thing. But if it's consistent enough, it sounds musical.
Really cool, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure that Chris Dave thinks that way. Like, he'll think in terms of a flam, but not play the strong beat of the flam and just play the other note, and you wind up with these really jagged sounding rhythms.
Yeah, man. It's this is the stuff I love, man. I love just taking a section like this and then building something out of it, and like it's something that I think like this is, the average person that has never played drums is just like, what in the world are you guys talking about? And it's like our own language,
Yeah, and in terms for Ralph, like what to practice, I mean, this is a great tool. Like, you play a bunch of stuff, video yourself, and then you're like, oh my gosh, that one little tiny thing I did wasn't good. So let me make that one moment my entire next day practice.
Yeah, exactly. This has totally inspired me to, because I'm struggling at the same point you guys are. It's like, even not doing the flams, that was the part that was screwing me up.
Another cool one would be instead of doing 2 measures, have the measures. So like just 2.
Oh.
So downbeat, and then the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So playing. So instead of doing double measures, like ending the measure here, right?
Yeah, and then going to the next one, going to the next one.
Oh,
and then the next one will be just one measure of all 4 permutations.
Ooh, or you could do three beats and then it alternates hands. That would be true. Man, this one's awesome. Yeah,
We
so
could write a whole
three,
book on triplet studies. On this, dude.
yeah, 3/4 would be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then it goes to the left. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, yeah, that's cool, Jeffrey. You can do 2s, 3s, and 4s.
This is the reason that Stick Control and the Joe Morello book and all these books from way back are still like being used and popular. Some people get tired of them, but if you start thinking about it and changing stuff up and like you can use them as a skeleton or as a guide, and then start putting your own spin on stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of good teachers, not good teachers, but that's what a lot of teachers do also to like get the most out of one book.
Yeah, that's great. So this is the kind of stuff where you go, oh, I have a cool idea, and you start like writing it out, and then you're like, well, wait a minute, I can do this. Then you write that, and now you have like 20 pages of like stuff where you're just like, dude, this is just endless. It's just crazy. So really cool, guys. This was like, this morning was a struggle for me to like get up and get motivated to show up today, but man, this was it's always these days where I'm like, dude, that was a really great Chops and Coffee. I'm stoked.
Yeah. And for Daryl, that's also I got halfway into like the conversation you guys were talking about. But this would be a cool way for you to, like you said, like get out of a rut or something, like to try to find out what you're gonna practice the next day. Maybe just take one sheet of paper and try to find out what you can do from that one exercise. That will get you like.
Well, yeah, exactly, Jeffrey. Well, actually, I used you to start the whole because you were saying you have all this stuff in your phone and you just kind of take it and
Oh yeah.
use it it got me thinking that maybe we should all maybe this is the one we pick and we just see how far each of us can take it.
I'm so down with that.
I get so bored in the car when I'm when I'm driving. I'm listening to podcasts. I listen to the Drum Brigade podcast.
Oh, really?
And Dave Johnstone, his podcast also really great. Like
really
I listen to all your guys' stuff. But when I'm like just sitting down and doing nothing, I'll take a practice pad and like use the PDFs and things like that.
Nice.
Because, try to keep my chops up and just keep my mind up. Even just reading it helps.
There's a drummer that he's in Portland now, but he was out here. He's I can't remember his name, but he's an amazing drummer, amazing, like deep studies, all of that stuff. But he's such a, long story short, a bass player I know in town was saying that when he was younger, he would get fired from so many gigs because he was like, trying all these odd times and stuff. But they were like, he was so like drummer arrogant, if that's a word. So he would show up. What I'm trying to get at is he would show up on like pop gigs or whatever, but open like random sheet music from his book that he's studying, and mentally he's playing the song, but he's reading all these other like chop ideas and like exercises to like keep his mind. He's like so bored on the pop gig that he's like reading down all these other like exercises, just mentally reading them down and not actually playing them. It's like crazy.
Man, more power to him. I know guys like that that can do all that stuff, but what they do is sometimes they lose the band gets lost.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was doing.
Then they'll call me up, and I'm not the flashiest drummer or anything, but they'll just be like, oh man, can you do this gig instead of this guy?
Yeah, so Jeffrey encourages everyone to do that.
I take the gig after that.
But sorry, I was wondering how many I don't think we ever talked about double bass too much, but didn't Dave just get double pedals?
Yeah, he posted that he did.
Yeah, I was talking to him about it. He got that specifically to learn Hot for Teacher, he said. And he said he feels like he's just started drums all over again. I'm going the opposite way. I'm trying to get rid of my double bass.
Man.
Yeah, I've always played double bass, and now I'm not also Daryl, but I was wondering like if enough people in here were doing it. I guess
if you want to hear a drummer that doesn't know how to play, put a double bass drum in front of me. It's like my first day playing drums. If I always just take all the stuff that we do with our hands though, and just if I have a student that wants to learn double bass, all the stuff that we do with our hands, I'm like, you got to do it with your feet, you know? And so, but yeah,
Thomas Lang is insane. He does a double stroke roll with his feet and his hands, but he speeds up his hands, and he has two different tempos. So his hands are like doing like 200 and his feet are doing 60. He brings his feet up and then his hands down. And then at the end of it, his feet are doing 200 and his hands are doing like 60.
Come on with that.
Crazy.
But I
That's
see
just
That's-
nerd stuff, man.
Dennis Chambers does that too.
Who? No, Dennis
Chambers.
Chambers.
But he
Yeah.
does that in clinics and things like that.
Yeah.
Not on the Santana gig.
Yeah. Yeah. I love how Thomas Lang will, like, his lessons are so funny to me because it's just so like, it's so, because he makes it look so easy, but it's so matter of fact of like, so we'll do this pattern on our right and then we'll do it on our left. Now we'll do it with our feet. And of course we'll do it with our left foot. You know, it's like, come on, man. Like, you know, I can't do that. It's just like, that's the standard. Like, you should be able to do this with all four limbs equally. All four
But-
limbs should be equal.
His stuff is also not cheating. Like he doesn't like doing like he's like you got to work it out also.
Mhm.
So it is achievable, I guess.
Yeah. It is. He makes that clear. It's just like, dude, I love that he puts that standard, and it is really like evident in his playing that like all four limbs work the same way. Like his hands are equal with his feet and vice versa, you know? It's really cool.
Meshuggah. I just started listening because that guy's double bass is ridiculous.
Insane.
Yeah.
Man. Any of those guys, man, that's a whole nother world that I just like. It's like I'm just not that guy. Like I'm not a Matt Garska type of drummer, you know. And like I admire what he does, but it's just not me.
That's your groove.
Yeah.
I would love to get better at double bass. I was so in love with double bass when I was younger, and then I never have a use for it, and when I have it, I rely on it too much. And so, but now music is like you kind of, if you're playing that kind of stuff, you know you can, it's very useful.
Yeah, I've always noticed if I set it up on a gig, I'm like, God damn it, I brought it, I put it in the car, I set it up, I'm gonna fucking use it, and then it always ends up somewhere it doesn't belong.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. So.
I saw a jazz gig out here in the 55 bar. I don't know if you guys know where that is. Keith
Yeah.
Carl and Dan Weeze, they all play there a lot. And I saw this jazz gig, and the drummer had a double bass pedal, and it was fusion-y jazz, stuff like that. But then, just like you said, he used it because he had it. So
Right.
I was like, it was cool. It was cool, but it was more like I have a double bass pedal. Here it is.
Well, double bass was jazz to begin with, right? I saw
I'm
Louis
gonna be.
Bellson, like. What were you saying, Sam? Go ahead.
He's
I
frozen.
was gonna say I'm gonna hit the next level. I'm gonna go double hi hat pedal.
Hey, look up
That
Eric
Thomas
Carlin.
Lang thing.
Thomas
Or
Lang.
Virgil Donati too.
Double cowbell pedal.
Marcus Gilmer and Eric Carlin are actually doing that in their jazz stuff. But they do it.
Double hi hat.
Yeah.
Dang.
Pretty soon you're gonna look like Terry Bozzio or whatever with all those pedals, just different tones.
Yeah, I've been totally addicted to this left hand on woodblock. I originally did it to do left foot clave, and then I realized just holding 2 and 4 on a woodblock with a metronome is like the ultimate barometer for are you like nailing pocket, you know, because the woodblock is so precise with the metronome. Like, so I've been working on that for a few years and I'm still not good at it. So.
Good idea.
Left foot or left hand?
Left foot.
Okay.
So I just put a like jam block with a pedal and then cold 2 and 4. And even just playing 2 and 4 can be a challenge to really sync it like perfect unison with the metronome and then slowly start adding your other limbs. And very quickly the left foot starts pushing and dragging. And oh man, that one's hard.
That's a good ostinato to play. 2 and 4 on your foot and 1 on your kick.
Yeah.
That's a good, like you feel like you're in the pocket, you know.
Yeah, it's a total centering exercise to like feel one beat here and one beat here, kind of back and forth. Yeah,
there was something that I was thinking about you. One of my lessons, what was I doing? I was doing like this 5 thing where it's like right, left, left, and then I had him put it on the ride. He was losing his balance. He's like, I don't know why I can't do it. Like for some reason, his mind was messing with him that it was his first time ever doing anything in like 5/16 notes, you know? And I was thinking, man, yeah, we got to be centered. Make sure your left foot's planted on the ground. And like, I started going into like, I was like, I sound like Adam right now. That was pretty funny.
Cool. Yeah, do that with like left hand lead with the right foot. That's hard. Like left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, right, and the foot with the left hand. And like really sync that. Or stay with the right hand pattern and play the left hand part with the foot. Got.
Oh man.
Yeah, that really kind of gives that unison between the body, gets that tight.
Yes, dude, I'm telling you that ever since you did the chops and coffee a few weeks ago, it's like that's opened a whole world of like possibilities and thoughts of like it's changed my thinking on gigs and like everything. I'm like, whoa, why did I just do that? Why? Let me think about it. Am I relaxed? You know, am I breathing? And like, it's really cool.
It's my first priority thought of how I'm moving. Totally, Adam. Yeah. Are my hands flowing? Am I relaxed? Yeah, it's been a game changer.
Vital
cool.
information, man. Really.
I always think about that back brace. I always think about like I just like have a mental like back brace so that I don't have to actually wear the thing, but I might have to do it eventually if I get to that spot.
$12 on Amazon.
Look at that.
Yeah,
there it is, man.
Oh shit!
Now I have to get it.
That's the football bird. Yeah, I was wearing it most of the chops and coffee.
I did it for just my posture has just been shit my whole life. So it literally helps with like pain and everything. Like, but yeah, I started using it at the kit because it's like a place that I sit a lot and I don't have to walk around, so it's good.
Yeah, and wrist braces, like for if you got carpal tunnel, you buy a wrist brace, and so I've been using those to practice finger control. And you can really, you can play powerfully with fingers. And if you wear the wrist brace, it forces that. Then you take them off, and you just feel like wild man.
That's cool. So Friday, we're supposed to have Rich Stitzel coming in and leading Chops and Coffee. So we won't get back to the triplet studies until Wednesday next week. So yeah, if Rich doesn't come through, then we'll jump back in on it. So, but either way, yeah, really cool stuff. So, and then I'll try to write some stuff to make it. I'll see if I can get the time to write some stuff out, make it happen. Anyways, yeah, great chops and coffee today, guys, and thank you for showing up and providing all these like this discussion and all the feedback and all this stuff. It's wonderful, man. It's great for me. So. And I'm sure for all you guys. Thank you guys for streaming, all those guys who are streaming with us. And you guys are all welcome to join if you want. Just use the link on drumbrigade.com. I hope you guys have a great week, great hump day. And yeah, I'll see everybody on Friday with Rich. I hope we'll have a completely different vibe. And also, Daryl, I think he has a big whole thing on practice and all that stuff. So I think it's going to be really useful for us.
Awesome.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys on Friday.
See you Friday.
Thanks.
Friday.